India is playing a high-stakes diplomatic game. On one side, and it's shaking hands with China and Russia through BRICS. On the other, it's teaming up with the US, Japan, and Australia in the Quad. But can India keep balancing both sides in today's divided world? Let's break it down. Hello and welcome to the channel. Prime Minister Modi recently went on a multi-nation tour, visiting countries in Africa and South America, and attending the BRICS summit. Why is this important? Because India is trying to build partnerships, gain economic benefits, and boost its global influence. This is part of India's big idea called multi-alignment strategy. It means India does not pick one side. Instead, it works with all global powers, even if they don't like each other. Sounds smart, right? Well, yes, but it's also becoming more complex and risky. Let's first understand BRICS. It's a group of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Together, they represent over 40% of the world's population. BRICS was created to promote economic cooperation, challenge the Western-dominated world order, reform global bodies like the IMF and World Bank. It even set up the new development bank to fund infrastructure in developing countries. But here come the cracks. India and China have deep tensions. Remember Doklam and Galwan? This creates mistrust within BRICS. During US-Israel attacks on Iran, Russia and China didn't help much, showing that BRICS members often put their own national interests first. Argentina refused to join BRICS, a sign that the group is losing its global appeal. Russia is now very dependent on China, especially after the Ukraine war. That makes it harder for India to use Russia to balance China. Despite all the talk of a new world order, countries like China and Russia are still signing deals with the US behind the scenes. And what about de-dollarization, moving away from the US dollar? Yes, BRICS talks about it, but India is cautious. Why? Because it might affect our trade. Still, we do trade in local currencies with Russia. So BRICS, once full of hope, now looks less united and more divided. Now let's look at the Quad: India, US, Japan, and Australia. The goal? A free and open Indo-Pacific countering China's influence, cooperation in tech, disaster response, climate, and security. But guess what? Even the Quad is facing problems. Under Trump, the US followed an America First policy, pressuring Japan and Australia to spend more on defense. Long-term US allies started feeling uncomfortable. Trump even tried making trade deals with China, confusing India and others about US intentions. And yes, the US also reached out to Pakistan, which made India feel betrayed. So while the Quad looks solid from the outside, it's not all smooth inside. India's foreign policy has not followed a straight path. We once hoped to build strong ties with China, but that changed after aggressive moves in Doklam and Galwan. Today, China is much stronger than India, economically and militarily. This imbalance is a major long-term challenge. What India should do, way forward. So what's the way forward? Bilateral engagement. India should focus more on one-on-one partnerships that serve its direct interests, not just symbolism. Strengthen from within. India needs stronger economic reforms and political unity at home. That's the foundation of true global power. Reclaim leadership in South Asia. China is making inroads in our neighborhood, even forming its own Indian Ocean Forum. We must rebuild ties with Pakistan, Bangladesh, and others, without fear of being called a big brother. Pragmatic partnerships. We should work with developing nations on trade, technology, and defense, not based on ideology but mutual benefit. India's multi-alignment strategy is bold, and it shows the world that we can talk to everyone without taking sides. But in a world that's growing more divided, it's not going to be easy. The path ahead will demand wisdom, clarity, and a strong India, both inside and out. Will India succeed? Only time will tell. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.